Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome to the third video of the Hunter Guide series. Today's video is going to be about SEO Jiu, but before we get into it, I want to say a huge thank you for the 250 subscribers on YouTube. I honestly wasn't expecting that much like hype around me, that much support. So yeah, huge thank you and let's get into it. Seo is the only water SSR hunter currently. She's probably the most complete hunter of the roster, honestly. She's gonna solo carry Cerberus. She's gonna help you a lot in gates. She has great skills, no cooldowns. We'll see that a bit later on with her passive. She's great for Battlefield Trials. She's one of the best support to run with Jinwoo. Honestly, it's a must-have, I will say, and probably the first one you want to get whenever you start the game. Let's check her kit now. So basic attacks, nothing crazy, just damage, no effects. Core attack though, light break and decent damage. Skills, so she has a particularity with her skills. She has two forms, the base ones and then the heavy form one that you get from her passive. We'll see that later on. So the normal one, light break and knocks down the enemy. The heavy one gives a shield as well as super armor whenever you use the skill, right? For the second skill, it's light break and knocks down the target. For the heavy one, it's break damage increased by 50% and again, super armor. Moving on to the support skill, probably the second best support skill after Bax, right? Gives a shield as well as medium break. So for Jinwoo, the shield is huge. It will help you everywhere. Story, gates, honestly, everything, bosses. It's really one of the best support skills. The QT skill, nothing crazy, just light break and damage. The ult, not a good multiplier if you look at it just with the multiplier, but it's because she stacks of HP, right? And outside of that, nothing crazy, just airborne, right? So let's check the passive now. Seo's passive is pretty simple to understand. Whenever you use your core attack, basic skills, and QT skill, you get a training stack. Whenever you have 3 of them, you get the Water Dragon training that resets your cooldowns and changes your skills to the heavy form. Once you used one of the heavy form skills, your skill will go back to the basic forms, right? So you have to choose either you get a shield or extra break damage, right? And of course, you can cycle that, right? So if you have, let's say you use core attack, double skill, it resets, you use heavy skill, then another skill, then you use core attack and another skill, then it resets again, right? So you can cycle, and that's what's good about SEO, is you can cycle your skills over and over again and never run out of attacks. The only problem is you consume a lot of MP. Moving on to the dupes, the first dupe will increase the damage of your heavy attacks by 150%. The second one will increase your break damage by 15% and the break damage of your second heavy attack by 50%. The third one, which is the best one in my opinion, will make you recover 40 MP whenever you get Water Dragon training. So every 3 skills you get 40 MP back. The fourth one increases the user's max HP by an amount equal to 15% of crit damage. So obviously Seo is a crit damage unit. You will see that as well with her weapon that emphasize on that. And also her fifth dupe, which increases the critical hit rate and skill damage of your heavy attacks and your ult by 32%. One thing you need to know is that it's not counted in here, right? So it's 50% you have with artifacts plus another 32%. So that's 82% crit rate, right? It's just huge. And I think we're done for the passive, so let's get on the weapon. Seo's weapon is probably the first one you want to craft when it comes to hunters. If you haven't yet, you should, honestly. It's just broken. Increase the user's critical hit damage by 14%. That's with 3 dupes. With less dupes, I think it's 10. And whenever you use a skill or a heavy skill, it will increase your critical hit damage by 4% stacking up 20 times. When it's no dupes, it's 1% stacking up 20 times, so still 20% more crit damage. It also increases your HP, right? Because your passive, remember, increases your HP based on your crit damage. That's when you have 4 dupes, sorry. But yeah, just crazy weapon, probably the best hunter weapon. But if you don't have it yet, I suggest using the SR bow for the extra 24 critical hit damage. Otherwise, you could maybe use the book to get more power gauge acquisition and some HP. But yeah, probably just the bow. or like the extra core attack damage, maybe. But yeah, now let's take the artifacts. When it comes to artifacts, you could see it in two ways, right? Either Seo is a support for you, so you run her with Guardian or Break Set, either she's a DPS. Right now we only have one water unit, so I would assume everyone's gonna build her DPS, right? When we get another water unit, maybe she would go into a more support role, but for now, honestly, just go full DPS. So, crit build, as I said in the passive, crit is very important. And then executioner. Let's talk about jewelry first, because there's no real other options except maybe skeleton. She doesn't have any great jewelry set. You can't run expert. Expert would be good, but expert gives attack and she wants HP, right? She scales off HP. So just I would go executioner or skeleton, honestly. Berserker, I think the name is. And for the armor, like I said, support, I don't think so. So just hard leather, toughness, more critical hit rate, more critical hit damage, just straight up damage. For the substats, I would prioritize critical hit rate and HP percentage and additional HP. You want those three as much as you can, right? So on the armor, you want those three. On the jewelry, you want additional HP, HP percentage, I don't have here, and critical hit damage, right? Outside of those three, you would want death pen and damage increase. Damage increase before death pen. Like if you have to choose between damage increase and defense penetration, you want to go for damage increase. It's a better stat. So now let's take the skill upgrade. For the upgrades, I would just go for basic skills, core attack, and the ult, honestly. Base ones, honestly, like the usual ones you would go for any hunter. You cycle the skills a lot, so the skills are like very important. You use your core attack a lot, so that too. And just the ult for extra damage. The QT skill, you could debatable, honestly. Like it's not that important. Basic attacks probably more important. And the support skill, it just adds more damage. It doesn't change the shield, so it's probably the last one you would upgrade, honestly. And I think that wraps up the character's presentation, so let's get into the gameplay. Seo is probably the hunter I need the least to explain, so I mean the video is probably going to be pretty short, because honestly there's not much to do. You just spam skills, 1, 2, charge the core attack, and then let's say first skill you get the shield, right? And then you just do it again. Just do it again. Let's say you want to have more break damage, here break damage, and then do it again. And just do that over and over again and shred the boss. It's simple as that, honestly. She has a pretty good synergy with Min, the healer, right? He gives more crit damage. He boosts her ult, right? If she's the highest CC, whenever you have them 5 dupes. But outside of that, she doesn't have like crazy synergies. She's a very good like solo carry. Honestly, as you can see, big damage, ult, and it's over. Thanks a lot for watching, right, guys. Oh, didn't kill. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. I'm trying to get the 1K subscriber before the end of April. So let's make that happen. Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.